Okay, well, guys, again in the engine room. I seem to be spending a lot of time in the engine room of tourism in Australia, and we're actually at Tourism Australia now, and we've just completed the launch of Business Events Australia, new branding around that, and I'm delighted to have with me Geoff Buckley, who's the Chief Executive of Tourism Australia. Geoff, tell me how this Business Events Australia brand launch fits in to the whole strategy for Tourism Australia. Does it link into leisure? What's it all about, and how involved have you been in it?
Right. Look, it is a critical part of the key platforms that make up Brand Australia. I think now what we recognise that over the last many years, Brand Australia as a brand has been primarily driven by a leisure tourism marketing effort, if you like. What we've done today is evolved with the industry a brand positioning for business events, which we can take to the world, and that fits as another platform under the broader Brand Australia, the country brand. And so we've got a leisure brand, we've now got a business events brand. We're really building a powerful positioning for Australia. That's a unifying force for the industry to take when they go marketing Australia against the rest of the world in what is a very competitive environment.
Because the business events sort of business was sort of lacking, it was missing a bit, wasn't it, out of the formula? Because we had sort of meetings and conferences and incentives. Are you saying as well that in future, rather than MICE, we should be talking about business events?
Well, I think we've talked about what it should be called, and it's called different things in different parts of the world. We've adopted business events as the way to describe what is described as MICE, it's described as congresses, it's described as all sorts of things around the world. Business events, I think, says what it is. It is around business, it's not leisure. It is about trying to get an outcome for businesses. They have conventions, they have meetings, they have incentives. They are all about trying to improve their businesses.
So where does all this fit together in terms of leisure tourism? Because is that part of, in terms of, say, attracting business events and conferences and incentives and so on, with a spin-off into leisure tourism? Is that part of the mix?
Yeah. Well, look, it works both ways. I think today's about a brand positioning rollout. Certainly the business events brand will leverage off the leisure brand, as it does particularly in the incentive market, and we know it works the other way as well, so that, you know, the more you're out there selling Australia across a broad range of the Australian brand values, the more people get what Australia is about, and the easier it is to market, no matter what the product is.
I like the popping of the champagne cork, or I should say sparkling wine in the background. Just a final question. You travel around the world a lot talking about Australia. What are the things that excite you about Australia, and the message that you give, and the personal things that you say really sell Australia and convince different people in different countries around the world?
Yeah. Look, invariably, and we see it in our research, we see it in our face-to-face, people come back, this is just an unbelievable country. The nature, our land is just amazing for people, but it's that combination of what is unique about our land, our flora and fauna and our place, but the people connection with it. It seems the two together are the power. You'll see the iconography behind the business events. We've used Indigenous. That's talking about the land. It's talking about the people. It's what we are. We believe we have both a history and a contemporary presence, and those combinations, both of our place, and we're not just talking about our nature, we are talking about our cities as well. It's the people, and it's the way in which I think people get to interact with our land that seems to sell Australia most effectively against the rest of the world.
Before we finish, it's great to see this sort of the Aboriginal iconography coming through. Do you see that becoming an increasingly important part of our leisure marketing as well?
It is. It works better in some markets than others, and I think we need to understand what it is that the consumer is looking for. Not every consumer is looking for the same experience, but they do recognise it's very recognisable and very unique to Australia, and that allows us to take a bit of a shorthand way of saying this is Australia. It's like the kangaroo, it's like a lot of the other icons that we've used in the past. This is another icon, but it does talk more to the people, if you like, rather than the land or the place. And that's an important part of, I think, what Australia is.
Well, Geoff, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to speak with Travel Mode TV, and good luck with everything in your relatively new appointment. How long is it now?
Oh, it's actually been 12 months, so I'm an old hand already. Yeah, so, thanks, John.
Well, you're doing a great job, and good luck into the future.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that.